Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And I know I've been a little bit MIA for the past 2 or 3 weeks. After New Year's I made a conscious decision that for the first time in like years of having the blog and things like that, I was going to take a little bit of time out. I really needed it. There was a lot going on and I just needed some downtime. So I was really excited to get back into vlogging and putting content on this channel. And I've like edited about 3 or 4 videos. I'm all excited and I log onto my emails and wham, there is that email from YouTube, which a lot of content creators and vloggers have got this week, all about the new changes. And I just wanted to sort of like share my feelings on it a bit. I was kind of a bit shocked because there was a threshold already of what you needed to do to become a YouTube partner, which I managed to achieve about a year ago. And then this new threshold is just such a big jump up from that. It just doesn't seem like moderate at all. Like, I'm all about moderation. I knew changes were happening. YouTube's gone through a lot of changes this past year and they needed to put in like a few new changes and this and that. And so I knew it was coming. But you expect there to be like a middle ground. You know, you had to have 10,000 views before and I think like 1,000 followers or 500 followers, something like that. And now you've got to have 1,000 subs, which I think is really achievable for anyone who works really hard. I managed to get 3,000 subs just before Christmas. And I think if you put the work in and you network and things like that, you can get that with hard work. But it's the view time, because of the analytics and the way that, you know, YouTube does seem to show preference, and bigger channels obviously get a lot more traction and things like that. The smaller channels that are still making like excellent content don't always get viewed as much as the big channels. It's just the way things are. And 4,000 hours of view time is a lot. It's just a lot of time. When you break it down, it's 240,000 minutes. That's 657 minutes a day, which is equivalent to 10 hours of view time daily. 365 days a year, that's what you need to achieve on a daily basis to become a YouTube partner. And I just think that for a lot of small channels and even some medium channels, that is like pretty hard. And you know, a lot of people say like, oh, you know, before that point you're not earning much money anyway, and you shouldn't be in it for the money. And like, I'm not. I mean, my blog does really well, but this was just an extra string to my social media package that I do, and I really enjoy it. But editing videos takes time, and it takes time out of your life, and you may have a full-time job or you have family and kids and things like that. So even like the littlest kickback from that is appreciated and makes you feel supported, like as a small channel. So I mean, you know, with that little kickback that I was getting, I was putting it back into my channel, like promoting it, and I was saving some of it to get a better lens so I could make better content. And now it just feels like, you know, quite a large demographic of creators sort of just been like kicked out from a platform that they love and support. And it just feels a little bit unfair because it's such a massive amount of hours now. It's got from 10,000, you know, views to like having to have 10 hours a day of people watching your stuff. And I mean, I know big channels, they don't have any issue with this at all. And it's sad because there's some smaller channels that make such great content. There are people that I subscribe to that are funny and have really engaging and original content, and it does look right, but you know, they should really be growing at a better rate than they are. And I do think that obviously YouTube wants to make money, so the people who are still in the partnership, I just think naturally, like the way things go, is that their stuff will be promoted in the feeds more because they're making YouTube money. So what happens to all the small YouTubers now that are kind of like of no use really to the affiliate kind of you know, YouTube monetization? So what happens to our videos? Are they going to be seen at all? You know, it's just a bit of a strange one. I mean, I know that there have been issues with some of the larger accounts lately uploading things that are not appropriate, that are insensitive, but a lot of the time the smaller channels very much keep within the guidelines because they want to grow. And they kind of like play to the rules, and I mean, I certainly do. All my stuff is very much in the guidelines, and I find sometimes the larger channels are the ones that take liberty and maybe, you know, post things that are a little bit more risky or whatever. That's what we've seen over the past year, and yet the smaller channels are the ones that is taking the hit of all of that. And I know they say it's to do with safeguarding, but I don't understand how these changes actually sort of make any difference to the content, how these hitting these views add any safety features to that. And in the email they were saying like, oh, you know, there is so many bad actors and things like that. And I think that, you know, channels have to grow. It doesn't even mean they're not good, they just haven't had the time to grow. So the wording was, you know, a little bit off in this email. And I just worry kind of like for the future of YouTube, you know, where are these next generation of content creators going to come from if they're not going to feel supported when they start out? Because when you become a YouTube partner, you have access to more tools, you know, end cards, and being able to customize your thumbnails and having a bit more support. So it was also about that, not just making a little bit of money, but also you had more support available to help your channel grow. And a lot of us have all got used to using, you know, end cards and things like that. And now suddenly from next month, that's going to be taken away. I mean, you know, platforms change and people adjust. So obviously that hasn't put me off wanting to make content. I suppose it's just a little bit disheartening that the people that are working just as hard and are trying to make original, engaging content are the ones that are having to pay the biggest price in this. Because I do think smaller channels are worth, you know, being able to work with brands, and they should be seen as, you know, a positive thing. And everyone's got to start somewhere. And I just felt like the older thresholds were achievable. 240,000 minutes is a really big leap. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. Obviously still excited to be back on the channel, and I've got lots of things that I'm going to be uploading soon, so please do subscribe and let me know your thoughts on the changes that are happening. I mean, I think we all knew the changes were coming, and I was really open to that. I just think that these are really big changes, and I just hope it doesn't damage the platform in any way. I hope that we don't see small channels that are making excellent content sort of just give up because they just feel it's an insurmountable amount to try and do, because that would be disappointing, is seeing people who make original content sort of throw the boot in because it's just such a big leap. So yeah, leave your comments, tell me what you think, and I'm really interested to hear. So see you soon. Bye.